What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to JD's Nerdverse. We're doing a playthrough today of Pokemon Blue with Bellsprout, Weepinbell, and Victreebel. The flower Pokemon and the fly trap Pokemon, I think is what the other two are called. So we're facing Charmander from the get-go. We growled twice to get our Vine Whip to be enough. If it just went for scratch, it would have beat us, but it didn't. So we get lucky here. A little bit of a luck in the first battle, but we do level up, which is pretty nice. And we progress through the game. We named our Bellsprout Bane. It was actually, there's a website used called like Ranker, and it ranked like the best names for Bellsprout, and one was Bane. So I'm like, you know what? I'm a big Batman fan, and it must break you. Oh, Ratata. Okay, I'm not going to do the Bane voice the entire time. But, however, this I'm showcasing is we had to fight Rattatas to level up. So, we are grass type. So early in the game, you have like really just like 5 or 6 Pokemon you can fight. You can fight Rattatas, you can fight Pidgeys, and you can go fight some Bug Pokemon. Now, we have Vine Whip only, so Flying type is not going to be very effective. See how ineffective that is? Okay, whereas Rattatas were 1 or 2 shotting. Okay, and also we don't have a lot of power points, but we leveled up enough to get to level 13 where we get Wrap, and then that makes it so we can actually beat rival number 2. So we're going to use Wrap. If Wrap works well, you don't even get attacked back. It's pretty nice. So we're using Wrap, and we knock out the Pidgey pretty handily. We're actually really over level for this battle now, but the over leveling is worth it because it makes so we can get through this next part without having to go back and heal 100 times. We did spend about 9 minutes leveling up, but it's not a huge deal. So we're just wrapping Charmander. We're going to have the advantage here. By the way, we named our rival Farts. Not just farts, multiple farts. So, yeah, he stinks. And Bellsprout, I would assume, is probably not a good smelling Pokemon either. So, we go through Bug Forest. And Bug Forest Wrap is huge in here. Vine Whip would do nothing. And it's also, we'd have to use 3 or 4 per Pokemon. So we'd run out pretty quickly. And with this Pokemon, it's really not optimal to use Struggle because you have 40 growths you have to burn through to use Struggle. So, if I was going to spend the time to use 40 growths, that's why I use the Rattata strategy. Okay, Rattatas aren't resisted nothing, they're just kind of neutral damage. And we do 1 or 2 shots on them and get the most possible leveling up. And that's the fastest way I thought to do this. And so with Wrap, we really don't get attacked back in the Bug Forest. Now, there's nothing like great they have against us. We're also Poison type, so Poison Sting isn't going to do nothing to us. And we're picking up a potion right there. And now we're going to face this last trainer in the Bug Forest. And like I said, Wrap will do a majority of the damage here. We really won't take much damage back. And like I said, Poison Sting, we're not going to get poisoned this entire game. So we get the win and we move on to Brock's Gym. We didn't even heal. We didn't use Vine Whip at all in Bug Forest. We're probably out of Wraps. And I actually used Wrap here. Not the biggest deal in the world. And I did it again because we got the win, so it doesn't matter. Against Bellsprout, or against Diglett, it's not a big deal, but Sandshrew, it could have been bad if we did a Wrap because it can sand attack us and really prolong that battle longer than it has to be. But now we're moving on to Brock, and Wakanda forever! And we will one-shot Brock. There's a one-shot with Vine Whip, very good. And another one-shot on the Onix. We get to level 16. Actually, I might get to level 17 here. Nope, okay, so 16. And we're going to progress through Route, I think it's Route 3. And so Brock's split wasn't bad. It could have been faster. I wish it could have been faster, but I think getting level 13 and preparing myself and having the ability to, counter the things we're going to deal with early in the game is really a big deal. So if you don't know this already, I've actually played through this already. About a year and a half ago, I played through with Bellsprout. And those playthroughs wasn't a lot of preparation. It was a little bit of preparation. But now I do a lot more preparation now. There's a prediction video, like I said, if you want to get more stats and more breakdown of what the strategy is going to be. But I do have a lot to talk about because I am showing a lot more gameplay in this playthrough than I have in my recent ones. So keep that in mind. So the biggest problem with grass Pokemon in the early game is not the gym leaders. It has a huge advantage over Brock. It has a huge advantage over Misty. It also has a pretty big advantage over a decent, not an advantage, but it's neutral. It has like a resistance to electric moves. So the first 3 gym leaders are very good. Okay. Now where the tricky part comes in is all the in-between stuff. As you can see, we fight a lot of bug trainers. We don't exactly have an advantage over bug. So by using growth, it ups the attack of everything I do. That's why I'm using growth. I have 40 of them. Might as well use them to the best of our ability. We also get sleep powder. That helps. But the biggest problem with the grass types is the in-between battles of the first gym leader to the second gym leader. All the battles in between can be, not always, but can be rough. Okay? So it's about how you prepare for that. And in this case, we prepare by making sure we have wrap. We level up a little bit more, so our attacks a little bit more. We also use sleep powder, and we use growth to our advantage to make sure our, we don't have to go back and heal a bunch, and we don't run out of all of our power points for Vine Whip. So we got this last fight here, and then we're going into Mount Moon. We're pacing pretty well. Not the greatest pacing ever. I just blitzed through with 2 Pokemon in my Versus series. So definitely go faster, but we can put to sleep. And as soon as we wake up, we'll knock this bad boy out and move on to Mount Moon. And now they're in Mount Moon, just go ahead and watch these battles, and I'll go ahead and talk about a little bit of the strategy and some things I've made changes to my playthroughs. For example, obviously you see the layout's different. I have Bellsprout with the picture, well, not me, but it's my logo with my favorite Pokemon, Poliwhirl. Oh, and you know, the timer's a little bit different. It looks a little bit better, I think. It's one of the best advices I've ever given, is to make the timer transparent and make it blend with everything else. So that's a couple of the changes that I made. I also made changes that you don't see in here, but I've also messed with the IVs and EVs. So I've used a program called PokeHex, and what it does lets you edit the Pokemon, edit its IVs. It lets you do a whole bunch of things, but the only thing I really do with the Pokemon is give it perfect IVs, just to give it the best possible run. So that has been a change. What I've also done, I don't know if you've seen me open my bag or not, is I give myself a bunch of super repels. So that's one thing we do, and the other thing we give is also 2 Master Balls to start the game. I'm tired of wild encounters and trying to find HM mules and things like that affecting time. So what I've done is, one, the full repels eliminate the wild encounter factor, because I can really slow down some runs, not always, but some. So it's kind of eliminating a lot of uncontrollable factors in the game. And then the Master Ball is, instead of me having to stop the timer as much just to catch one of these things, the Master Balls just let me catch it instantly, and it takes a couple seconds, but it moves on with the game very fast. Okay, so that is the whole point of removing the ability, or adding the Master Ball and adding the repels. It's to eliminate a lot of uncontrollable factors. Wild encounters are sporadic, they're uncontrollable, so I'd rather just eliminate them altogether if I can. And use them as needed. So sometimes you don't need them. So for example, early in the game we used the Rattatas to level up. So that was needed. That was a little bit of a controllable. But when I'm just trying to get from point A to point B, and maybe fight a couple battles along the way, and having to constantly have to deal with wild encounters, it does get tedious. And I'd rather get this Pokemon as best time as possible. So that's the whole point of all this. So now I can actually just play through and let you see all the battles, rather than have to play through and have to edit out all the wild encounters. So it helps me on the editing part, but also helps me on the playthrough part, because I can just do straight through. I can focus on the tasks at hand and not be distracted by having to dodge wild encounters and such. So that is a change that I've made. I hope you like that change. Let me know what you think about that. And it just basically breaks it down to the brass tacks of the playthrough. Alright? So we are progressing through Mount Moon, and we are about to fight a really easy battle right here. The whole point of this battle is it's an easy win, so that's why I did it. Okay? Vine Whip will one-shot all 3 of these. So the other things that I've changed about this. So if you haven't watched my prediction video, I recommend you go watch it, but I'm going to rehash a little bit of it right now. So in this playthrough, we've already done this once. The whole point of this playthrough is to optimize this run, more or less. And so as you see right there, we had an opportunity to evolve into Weepinbell, and we chose not to. The reason why we're choosing not to is because the way this Pokemon levels up, so the base stage Pokemon learns moves at a much lower level than if you evolve it, okay? And if you evolve it all the way, you don't learn any more moves via level up, you can only learn TM. So that's the problem with Victreebel, okay? And what we want to do, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to try to keep with Bellsprout as long as possible until we at least get the move Razor Leaf, which we get at level 33. If we don't wait till 33 and we evolve, if we evolve before that, I think it jumps like 37 or 38, and I don't want to wait that long to get to our final stage. When you get to Victreebel, you can no longer have level up moves. You just get TM moves, which is fine, because we have a good TM move. But what's also great about getting to Victreebel is Victreebel can learn a move, Body Slam. And Body Slam is not a move that Bellsprout or Weepinbell can learn. I don't know why, but it is the only move Victreebel can learn. So that's a really good physical move, and for a grass Pokemon, we have a really good physical attack. So we want to learn that move, and it's better than the other move we get via level with this Pokemon named Slam. Okay, I'll circle back to that whenever we get to the SSN. So now we're going to talk about Misty's Gym. So Misty's Gym is going to be a cakewalk. Okay, we're going to do one growth just so we can kind of one-shot everything, one-shot this swimmer's Pokemon. And we're going to move on to the next one. And now this Pokemon trainer has a Goldeen that has Peck. Peck is a flying move, which is super effective against us. We're weak to it. So that is why we're going to put her to sleep. Okay. And Vine Whip should 1 or 2 shot. Yeah, it's going to 2 shot. Very good. And we get the knockout. Awesome. And now we're going to move on to Misty. And again, we're prolonging this evolution. There's a tactical reason for this. If you prolong this evolution, you don't get the move faster. And so with this strategy with Misty, we're going to go ahead and go for growth. Nothing she has is going to do well against us. She knows that we're grass type, so water's not going to do squat. So she's going to go for tackle and X defend. Both of them went for X defend, and Vine Whip will 2-shot each one. Actually, a 1-shot to Staryu, but I went for growth with Staryu. And we knock out Misty's Pokemon. We beat her. We go to level up again. Like I said, we're going to prolong that. Okay. And what we've also either we have learned or we're about to learn is a move called Acid. Let me just double check our move set right here. And moving on to our third rival fight. Third rival fight, we're going to bring out Pidgeotto, and we do not have Acid yet. Acid we'll learn here very soon. Okay, Acid is a 40 base power poison type move, so it's definitely a step up from Wrap. Wrap does prevent the opposition from attacking us for the most part, but it's not reliable. It is 85% accurate, so it's not the most reliable. So we're just going to go for as many growths as possible. So growth does 2 things. It does the badge boost glitch, upping our attack stat. That's the only gym we have right now that has a badge boost. It's attack stat. And it also ups our specials so that we can 2-shot Charmander just like this. So pretty easy win over our rival Farts. And we're going to progress to up Nugget Bridge and to Bill's house. Now I'm going to play the whole part, but I'm going to go over this. I haven't done this in my last few videos. I haven't really had a good spot to do it, but I'm going to do it now. So what I like to do on Nugget Bridge is at the end of Nugget Bridge is a prize, and it is also when you get to Bill's house is a prize as well. You get a ticket to the SSN. So I'm going to go over some YouTubers I like to watch. I haven't done this in a while, but I do think I need to give some shout outs to some of them. And again, we prolong our evolution. So first one I want to give a shout out to is JRose11. He's kind of the one that got me into this. He is I like his videos. They're a little different than mine. So in some ways I kind of shadow what he does, but in other ways I don't. So his layout I like because it's very simplistic. He just shows the game. He doesn't have all the analytics and all the stats and stuff and the moves, and he doesn't have all that stuff, which is fine. I actually think it just focuses on the playthrough. Scott's Thoughts, a little bit of the opposite. He likes to do a lot of the analytics, a lot of the tech side of it, and showcase all those things. And I like to say I blend a little bit of it because I do have a timer. I do have other stuff on there other than the gameplay. So those are the 2 that kind of inspired me to do this. And I will throw another one out there, Mah-Dry-Bread on the left, the 4th one from the top. He kind of had some playthroughs as well, and there are a couple other ones. I would say MJTV I definitely watched before I did Pokemon playthroughs, but those are some YouTubers that do Pokemon content that I really enjoy. So top left, JD's Nerdverse, pretty cool dude. Just gonna say, very handsome as well. You should follow him. You should subscribe to him. All these guys I vouch for. I watched their video. I literally just got done watching a Squidgy video with Blissey in Generation 2 Crystal. And I'm trying to do some Generation 2 content, and his videos really are educating me a lot on the Generation 2 playthrough mechanics and stuff and such. Eggsceptional, I don't want to skip over him. I really enjoy his videos. He's actually the one that gave me the advice to make the timer transparent so it matches with the background and it's not like a different color or anything. So I can credit that to him. He does fantastic Gen 3 Fire Red Leaf Green content. I recommend him heavily. Mah-Dry-Bread does every iteration of Pokemon 1st gen, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. He does all of it. He does other games too, but I mainly just watch his Pokemon games, so I recommend him as well. M&J TV. It's not listed here, but he also has an M&J TV plays or games or something like that. So he talks about Pokemon, and he also plays through with Pokemon, and all of his content is Pokemon centric. So he does theories, he does like teams for gym leaders if they were the Elite Four champion, a whole bunch of stuff like that. So I recommend it. Gym Leader Matt is another one that I enjoy. He does playthroughs kind of similar to mine, but he does his like they're meticulously planned out down to the last like second. Mine aren't that planned out. It's just a general plan, and there's some thought into it, but not like I don't have like 9 or like a couple test runs and then I have one optimal run. It's planning out, and we'll see how optimal my plan is more or less what it is. Van Man hasn't posted in a while. I think he has some issue with his throat, but I still recommend his content. His videos are very well done, and it would behoove you, it would be in your best interest to watch them. They're very good. KangaskDan does some pretty good content as well. He had one where he played through Pokemon. He had to use every move in the game, so it's pretty cool. He has a bunch of them like that. A lot of analytics of the game. The Wand 016 does some pretty good stuff as well. M. Tiberius does some pretty good stuff. Smith plays Pokemon. He plays through, but he also plays some really unique scenarios. He played one where he started out in a generation in Gen 2, but he started in the Kanto Gen 2 with just a Bulbasaur. So that means like Brock was like in his level 40s, so on and so forth. So it was very very unique, and now he's doing like a legacy Pokemon Yellow Legends or something like that. So all of them I recommend. There's probably more out there, and if you're a YouTuber that does Pokemon and I haven't recommended your channel yet, comment down below. I'll mention it because and I'll watch your content first. All the content on here I vouch for and say it's nice. It's good content. So that's just it. So and now we're moving on to Bill's house. And in Bill's house, we're just going to go ahead and, save him from his weird experiment. I want to just walk in there and throw a Master Ball at him, and now I have the most sentient Pokemon ever. Most self-aware, intelligent Pokemon in the history of Pokemon. That's what I would like to do, but, we're not going to, the game doesn't let us do that, so now we're going to use the SSN. We're going to escape rope out of here and fly all the way to the SSN. Very good. And usually this battle would be irrelevant because we can't learn Body Slam, but this is what I mean by Body Slam is going to be relevant for this Pokemon. Once we evolve into Victreebel, Bellsprout, Weepinbell, like I said, do not learn this. But once we evolve into Victreebel, we can use Body Slam, which is what we're getting right here in a couple seconds. And that's good because Victreebel has a very high physical attack for a grass Pokemon. And we're going to get a move later that boosts our physical attack stat, which is going to help us out as well. So, starting off against our fourth rival fight, we're going to go ahead and put Pidgeot to sleep. And we're going to go for, this battle became a lot more interesting than it had to be, we're going to go for Growth to make our attacks that much more effective. And we're going to use Acid. It's going to be a 2-shot on the Pidgeot. Or Pidgeot, I'm sorry, it's not Pidgeot yet. Eradicate's going to be a 1-shot, very good. Kadabra's going to be a 1-shot, very good. And that leaves one Pokemon left, that's Charmeleon. It's not going to be a 1-shot. Ember doesn't do a lot. That Growth upped our special, so we beat our rival, and we're going to not evolve, and we're going to move on to Lieutenant Surge. And like I said, Lieutenant Surge is going to be a cakewalk because we resist all of his moves. Plus, we're actually doing pretty well. We have Sleeping move. This Pokemon really does round itself out pretty well. We have a Sleeping move. We have a good physical move. We have a good special move. Well, not right now. We don't have a good physical move. Let me rephrase that. But we have stat modifying right now. So if we need to badge boost, we can. So Acid will 1-shot the Electrode after a couple growths. Pikachu will get 1-shot by Acid. Now I doubt it will be 1-shotting Raichu, but we do knock him out in 2 shots. And he does very little damage to us. Lieutenant Surge is kind of a not a big deal. And we beat Lieutenant Surge and we move on to Mount Moon now, or I'm sorry, Rock Tunnel. There we go. I usually don't fight the Soda's battle anymore because it's kind of become tedious for a lot of the Pokemon I've done lately. But here's the battle. But what's important about this is we beat at the end of this tunnel we will level up. So at this point, again, we still have Acid, we still have Growth, we still have Sleep Powder, we still have Razor Leaf. So we're very close to level 33, and there's a trainer here we're going to fight, and this trainer's not very good, so I'm not too concerned about this trainer. But the point of me showing you this part is to show you we do level up to Weepinbell, and there's not a lot of time between when we get Weepinbell. We pretty much like a minute or two later immediately go and get a Leaf Stone and evolve into Victreebel. But I did want to show the evolution. So we go ahead and fight this trainer here, this cool trainer or junior trainer, whatever it is. Acid, knock it out. We level up. We learn Razor Leaf. We replace Vine Whip with Razor Leaf. It's a much more powerful move. And now we're going to go for Acid, which will be a 2-shot. This trainer was kind of scary actually because it's two flying Pokemon, and then we evolve into Weepinbell. And I'm not going to show my evolution into Victreebel because we do that in the department store. I would love to be in an department store when someone just gives their Pokemon a stone, like a water stone, and just all of a sudden it evolves. It has to like make a huge mess in the department store. But we evolve into Victreebel, and now we have a complete level up. We have a complete overhaul of our moves. We still have Sleeping Powder, and we still have Growth, but we added Body Slam, which is great for our physical damaging output. And we also have Razor Leaf. So Body Slam and Razor Leaf are our two go-to moves that we have right now. So Victreebel, we're going to go ahead and put it to sleep. We're going to go ahead and use Growth. It's going to up our physical attack stat. We just want to be safe than sorry. That's the whole point of doing this. Body Slam and Body Slam one more time. And Body Slam one more time. So I did the luxury of going back and watch my old playthrough. We're going to win this battle, by the way. I did the smart thing, went back and watched my old playthrough and see how I got through the Elite Four. And I almost deleted Sleep Powder and started going with like another moveset. And I'm really glad I didn't do that, because that could have been very catastrophic for the Elite Four. And you'll see why in a little bit. That's a little bit of foreshadowing, just so you're aware. So we beat Erica. We actually get a good move from Erica. It's Mega Drain, but we're not going to teach it yet. I've meticulously planned out when we're going to add certain moves and remove certain moves. And Mega Drain is one we're going to add later, because we're going to have to remove Victreebel at some point, or Razor Leaf at some point. Okay, so it's something we're going to do a little bit later, but we're not going to deal with that right now. Right now, we're just going to beat the pants off of this Rocket member, and he's going to walk away pantsless. And we're going to go ahead and beat him, and then we're going to go beat the pants off his boss. And Giovanni's wearing a nice suit, so beating the pants off, him is going to be problematic. And there we go. So here's Giovanni and his Widow's Peak. So the first Giovanni fight, it's going to be a clean sweep. It's going to be a sweep unless we get, like, Gen 1 misses, like a Razor Leaf right there. Razor Leaf's going to knock out the Rhyhorn, and it's also going to knock out the... Is KangaskDan going to knock out one hit? It did, because it got a critical. Very good. Beat Giovanni, and it comes after Giovanni. He's going to disappear like Batman. Talking to Jim Gordon. It's kind of his thing. And now we're going to Ninja Vanish. And we're going to go ahead and teleport all the way over to Lavender Town, and go in the Pokemon Tower, and we're going to go ahead and fight our rival. We're going to do a little bit of Badgie. Oh, no, we're just going to go for Body Slam, aren't we? Now, here's one Pokemon I kind of wish I kept Acid for just a little bit, because Execute's kind of tricky. But if we kept Acid, it would have been a lot better. Poison move had just been a one-shot, but we still get the knockout. We knock out Gyarados, and now we have Kadabra. Kadabra will be a one-shot, and Charmeleon will be a one-shot as well. We are level 37, so this battle's pretty easy. And after we beat our rival, we're going to move on to Koga. Now, you'd think Koga would have an advantage because we're grass type. However, we are poison, so we're neutral. It's just normal damage. But we have actually upgraded our moveset one more time. We have Sleep Powder, and we've added, and we did not add the move. Okay, well, it's not a big deal. Growth will still do the same thing. But it would have been better if we'd have added Swords Dance before this. I actually noticed this in the middle of this fight. It would have been better if we added Swords Dance. Swords Dance would have upped our attack stat by 6 stages over 3 turns, instead of us just having a 12.5% boost in our attack stat. So these Body Slams maybe would have been one hits. They might not. They might have been a little bit less, but I think it would have been more powerful if we'd have done that. However, we still get the victory over Koga, and we move on to our 6th rival fight in Silphco. So this rival is going to come out with a Pidgeot. Now, here's the thing about Pidgeot. Pidgeot only has Wing Attack as his best flying move. Now we have Swords Dance. There we go. So we do have Swords Dance now. I'm not a fibber. It's just the timing in which we added it was not smart. We should have added it before Koga. So we get the one-shot on Pidgeot. Now we're going for knocking out of Execute. We're going to knock out Gyarados. Alakazam's going to be a one-shot as well. And we're going to one-shot the Charizard. That's a question I have. Yes, we are. We obliterated our rival. He didn't get any damage done to us. That's how good we did against our rival. Okay? And because we do our rival so well, we're now going to take on Giovanni. He's still looking for his pants from the last time we beat his pants off. And now we're going to go ahead and kick the living crap out of Giovanni. So he has nothing that's really going to be super effective against us. We're going to Swords Dance just a little bit, just to be a little safe. And then we're going to go ahead and Body Slam him into Oblivion. Not Oblivion. Oblivion. I can't speak words. So it's a knockout on the Kangaskdan. We're going to Razor Leaf on the Rhyhorn, and we're going to Body Slam the Nidoqueen. She is very bulky, so she's going to take that physical attack like a champ. So we beat Giovanni, and we're going to go ahead and take on Sabrina. Now Sabrina, she's not very tough. She can be because we're part poison, but as long as we were able to set up and outspeed, Body Slam will obliterate the entire team. And with our attack stats boosted, 1 knockout, 2 knockouts, 3 knockouts. Now we knock out the Alakazam. We did just level up, so maybe not outspeed anymore. He does Side Wave, not a big deal. Get the knockout, beat Sabrina and her whip, and we move on to Blaine. Now, moving on to Blaine means we're going to go against the gym leader that we should be the most weak to. However, he starts out with a Growlithe, and his AI is horrible, so he's just always going to go for like super potions and things like that. So put him to sleep. He goes for super potion, because I guess he expects to take a lot of damage all the time. I guess that's his reasoning. So we're going to badge boost 3 times, getting maxed out. Body Slam's a 1-shot on the Growlithe. We did level up, so I did all the other badge boosting. Our attack's still high, but our speed dropped back down to the base speed that we have. And we 1-shot all the Pokemon. Our biggest adversary we should have in this game, we just obliterated without taking any damage. And now we move on to Giovanni. Giovanni, the final Giovanni fight, he found his pants. It was in the gym. And we're going to have to make him lose his pants again. So, Swords Dance. 1. Better safe than sorry. We probably don't need to do this, but we're going to do it nonetheless. Razor Leaf is a 1-shot on the Rhyhorn. Very good. 1-shot on the Dugtrio. Very good. 1 shot on the Nidoqueen. Yep, very good. And we're not super over leveled right now. I want you guys to realize that. We're only a couple levels higher than Giovanni. And we're going to 1-shot the Rhyhorn. So beat Giovanni pretty handily. And then the final battle we have to deal with in this section of the game is our 7th rival fight right before the Elite Four. So he's going to come out with a Pidgeotto. And we haven't added anything crazy. We haven't added Mimic. So what we're going to do with Pidgeotto, we're going to go for Sleep Powder. Very good. Set up 3 times with Swords Dance. We get a full setup. And we go for Body Slam. And we're going to clean house. We did just level up, so we lost all of our extra add-ons like the speed, but our attack stat is still extremely high, so I have no doubts at all we're going to 1-shot everything on this team. Maybe not the Charizard. It's possible the Charizard gives us a problem. Now, Psybeam was scary because, you know, we're weak to it, and then we have Charizard. We do 1-shot the Charizard, and we beat him, and we move on to the Elite Four. And now it's time for the Elite Four. So we're going to go ahead and look at the stats of this Pokemon really quick. So attack stat, our HP, we're at level 58. We gave all but 3 of our rare candies, so we're at level 58. Our HP is 194, attack stats 168, defense is 120, speed is 128, special is 162. So attack and special are very good, speed is okay, and defense is okay for this point in the game. And we're going to look at our level up our moveset. So we're going to go into the battle with Lorelei with Razor Leaf, Body Slam, Swords Dance, and Sleep Powder. Now, that moveset will change a little bit, and you're going to see that, and I'll go over all the changes as it happens. Let's go ahead and take on Lorelei, the Ice Trainer. So I'm going to go ahead and go against Lorelei, and I was trying to get right next to her, and I missed. So, yeah, it happens. So, she's going to come out with Dugong. Now, keep track of the time as well. I'll go over time after this. Sleep Powder, setting up 2 Swords Dances, 3 Swords Dances. I'm going to put them back to sleep just to be safe. I don't want to get hit by like an Aurora Beam that it gets a critical hit and get knocked out or something. So Razor Leaf will be a 1-shot on the Dugong. Very good. Cloyster will also be a 1-shot. It's very weak to grass. Okay, Slowbro comes out and it'll be a 1-shot on the Slowbro. Okay, Jinx comes out. Body Slam will be a 1-shot on her. Now, this is the scary one. Lapras has Blizzard. So Razor Leaf is not a 1-shot. However, she heals. Not a big deal. Get the win. Moving on from Lorelei to Bruno. Now we're going to right in the Bruno fight without stopping. We're not going to worry about badge boost, none of that stuff. We can just go right into it. We're going to do 3 quick Swords Dances just to be safe. But we're going to badge boost just to eliminate any factor of not just having this battle go completely our direction. 1-shot on the Onix. We level up. Not a big deal. We still have a high attack. Body Slam on the Hitmonchan. Body Slam on the Hitmonlee. We're going to come out with another Onix. Razor Leaf will obliterate that Onix. Very good. And the last one is Machamp. Body Slam is a 1-shot on the Machamp. So the next battle is the one that's tricky. Now, keeping track of the time is the original time we played through. The original playthrough was 1 hour and 29 minutes and like 49 seconds. We're at 53 minutes. So we're pacing extremely well. So I just removed Razor Leaf and added Mimic. And the whole tactic here, you're going to see it in 2 seconds. And this is where Sleep Powder definitely comes in handy. Because we don't have anything great against against Agatha. We have grass type moves. Body Slam can't hit Ghost. Sleep Powder is going to put him to sleep, but we're going to have to rely on another move, and this is why Sleep Powder is so important. We could mimic Hypnosis and use like a grass move, but it'll take forever. They're not very effective. So here's the tactic here. Agatha's going to come out with Gengar. We're going to put Gengar to sleep. That's the first strategy here. Okay, we're going to mimic Dream Eater. Okay, we're going to mimic Dream Eater. And so now we actually have a move that can do damage against Gengar. Alright, now this Gengar is being very complicit in staying asleep and letting us set up completely. Body Slam with one shot on the Golbat. Haunter comes back out. We need to put Haunter to sleep so we can use Dream Eater. It'll be a one shot. Very good. If we take any damage, Dream Eater would have replenished all that damage, but Body Slam with one shot the Arbok, and we have the last Gengar. Now this Gengar does not have a sleeping move, so we are good. We just got to hit it, and we obliterate Agatha. That was a big concern I had, was getting through Agatha, but Sleep Powder is 75% accurate. I've had to fight that battle with Sing or with Hypnosis, so it's very unreliable. I'm glad Sleep Powder is much more reliable for this battle specifically. Okay, so now I'm going to teach back a move. So now I'm actually going to wait till after this fight to do it. But we have Mimic still, and I was just thinking about a different strategy. But I can add Mega Drain, but I'm like, you know what? Maybe we don't need Mega Drain right now. Maybe we just go with what we got, and I have an idea. So we're going to go with up against Gyarados. We're going to put him to sleep. Okay, I'm going to Badge Boost 3 times. This makes our attack stat very high, and we can get a much more powerful move off of Gyarados' moveset by using Mimic and taking Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam, it is a risk of bad accuracy. However, it's a 150 base power move, and with our upped physical attack, we're going to obliterate this entire team. The only thing that could possibly happen is we miss against someone and they can attack us, but our defense is high. Everything's high right now, very high with this Pokemon. So now I'm preparing for the final battle in the game. We've obliterated everyone. We've actually, a bunch of them we haven't taken any damage. Okay, actually I think all of them we haven't taken any damage. We didn't take any damage against Gyarados, or all of them. Sleep Powder is very useful for this Pokemon. And in the future I'm going to play through as a Victreebel. I'm curious how well this playthrough goes with just a Victreebel. So we're going to remove Mimic. Okay, we're going to put Mega Drain back. This is just a precautionary measure, but I don't even think we need to use Mega Drain. But we're going to look at it here real quick, and we're going to face our final battle in the game, the champion fight. Okay, go for Sleep Powder, very good. We're going to go for a Swords Dance 1, Swords Dance 2, and Swords Dance 3. Okay, so we're fully set up. We're going to go for Body Slam, one shot on the Pidgeot, very good. Alakazam also will be a one shot. Rhydon. We already badge boosted, so we don't need to wait for a Leer or Tail Whip. Okay, that was kind of a strategy there. One shot on the Executor, one shot on the Gyarados. You send a trend here. Now we leveled up. Now I was worried about this level up because that level up means we may not outspeed this Pokemon, and he can go for Flamethrower or Fire Blast or something that could obliterate us. However, we one shot this guy without any issues. We take on Farts. We beat him. We you know. He doesn't do much to us, and now we're just tapping. It's going to be under 58 minutes, so I'm not concerned about that time. So that's not my concern at all, is just get it as fast as humanly possible, get there, and right there. So we beat this game in 57 minutes and 26 seconds. The original time, like I said earlier, was 1 hour and 29 minutes and 48 seconds. And I thought at the time that was a fantastic time. I really did. I thought that was a great time for a grass type. I didn't think any grass type would be any better. But a little bit of planning, a little bit of plotting, and figuring out just where this Pokemon's going to have struggles and trying to find a way to compensate for that. And like I said, we're not really over leveled. Most of the game we were pretty on par with our oppositions. Okay? And we got to the end of the game and it was all good. So I hope you enjoyed this replay. I was ecstatic with the results. I think this is probably one of the most powerful grass types in Gen 1, and I don't think if I play through Oddish I'm going to get a better result. No, I would put money that if we play through with Oddish we are not going to get a better result. Oddish has a really garbage starting moveset. The only one I think might be able to go toe-to-toe with this is possibly Bulbasaur, but I've played Bulbasaur more than any other starter in this game when it comes to playthroughs and tried to speedrun, and not the best. So, that's my video. Down below you should see 2 cards. One card is the prediction video for this video, if you want to watch it. The other card is actually for my Versus series I released last week. So I hope you enjoy both of those. Check them out. There's also a button on there to subscribe. And check out the rest of my channel. Comments are always welcome. And likes are always welcome. And I like the engagement. And I enjoy doing these. And I appreciate everyone who made it this far. If you haven't already, like I said, make sure like, share, subscribe. Have a good one. And I'll see you guys on Monday with my prediction video. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do my first... I'm doing a Gen 2 video, Crystal, with Chikorita. I'm going to do a playthrough as that, and we're going to see how that goes. I've had a little bit of struggles mapping out Crystal, because I've never mapped out Crystal in a way to optimize it, and it seems like it just seems to take forever. So I've had a little bit of struggles with that, but hopefully I have those struggles rectified by the time I need to play through and get it done, and then get to editing and such. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. This is JD, JD's Nerdverse. Have a good one, and I'll see you guys on Monday.